I'd read actually an article that you wrote around adopting a startup mentality to accelerate growth, which I think was fairly recent. I'm thinking that is tied in hand with this idea about constantly needing to sort of reinvent yourself. You're talking about Salesforce willingness to change. Could you talk a bit about ways that adopting this kind of mentality has encouraged innovation within Zilliant?
Yeah, I mean, number one, innovation is more than just technology innovation. It's how we do business, it's how we interact. It's across the entire how we operate as a company. How we engage our internally employees. And for me, it just means, you think of a startup mentality. You don't have a choice but to fail and to learn and to adapt every single time, and you have to make it okay. For me, it's okay if people try things that are new and it doesn't work. Just try something different, whether it be a new technology or whether it be a new approach to engaging a customer. That's what I would want to celebrate. Celebrating those failures internally is really important. Celebrating where we said no to a deal is as important as celebrating a win. And so I think that mentality has to be core for how we operate internally. And it's something that is hard when you have a company that's been around for 24, 25 years, and they've done things a certain way to say, do it differently. What could you do differently? It is hard. So one of the key things that we talked about is how do you instill that mentality? Obviously, as you mentioned, you could tell people, but that works to some degree, but it doesn't work in a positive way because they may be doing it reluctantly. So it is a hard thing to instill in a company that's been around. We have people at Zilliant who have been here for 20 years, and they have rich history with Zilliant, and they're great parts of the team. And so encouraging them and putting them at the forefront of that change is really core to help you drive the innovation across the rest of the employee base.
I'm always thinking about the change curve, right? And how we get people over into exploration of sort of whatever the new state will be, recognizing there's no steady state. But when people have been doing something not exactly the same way, but the same way for 20 years, and it's been working for them, it seems that there would be a fair amount of sort of built-in resistance to that. How have you overcome that?
I mean, I think that's making sure it's clear we have a new vision as a company. Zilliant was acquired by private equity firm Madison Dearborn Partners in 2021. They brought me on for a reason. We wanted to take Zilliant to the next chapter. And I think talking about it as a chapter or next side of the journey is important because it's not changing. I mean, what got Zilliant to where we're at today isn't wrong. It's just we're evolving to the next chapter in terms of our evolution. And so sharing the vision for what that means, making sure that we have the resources available, the people, the budget, the financials to be able to actually execute on that change, and then letting people, empowering them to make those changes happen is core. But we can't do that without clear vision, a clear strategy, and the resources. Otherwise, you're saying change, but we're limiting you to what you have right now. Sometimes those resources are just different mindset. Sometimes it's more resources. It changes by situation. But you have to empower them with not just words, but also budget and tools.
Yeah, it's great.